Guys, I have a bad news. What you guys say? I'm gay? No, not that type of bad news, okay? I'm not gay. Shut up, whoever say that. Actually, I have made bad news because your boy channel has been rejecting of monetizing. Yes. You guys may be thinking, what? What? I mean, it's just small thing. Yes, I know for you guys small thing, but for me, if I get some money from YouTube, I can help myself to improve my channel. And by the way, I get the reject of demonetized because of they say I'm lazy. When I searching on Google, they say maybe you're too lazy, you use the same intro or maybe anything. So I was like, what? I mean, that's type of me. I use the intro that everyone like. So I was like, man, I don't know how to. I mean, I do see how to get back demonetized, but I need to wait 13 days. And your boy need to change a little bit like description of my talking about my channel and everything. So I don't know if I need to change my profile of channel or maybe my name channel. I don't know, but yeah. So anyway, I don't want to talk much, but right now we're gonna reaction to SCP-137. I don't know why this man put Huggy Wuggy over there. Hey, even I do not have a lot of money, but I watch another YouTuber, okay? So yeah, Huggy Wuggy. So the Huggy Wuggy, the real to Huggy Wuggy. I don't know how the freak you get this, because I do remember the game like Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, PewDiePie play this game, or Mr. Beast. I mean Mr. Beast do not play it. The gaming it's just theory, a game theory. That's one he made a theory about that. So yeah. Anyway, I don't want to talk too much, but yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification. And please tell the team YouTube, please give me back my monetizing. Okay. Anyway, let's go to the reaction. Oh yeah, but before I forgot, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification to Detective Void. He almost to get 500k, so make sure to do that like I do to Detective Void, like this. Like and subscribe, okay? So yeah.
Stewart slept in and was now already an hour late for his niece's birthday party.
Oh,
there
birthday!
were already
I
several
love cake.
messages and 10 missed calls from his brother, but Stewart hadn't answered back. He got dressed in the first things that fell out of his closet and hurried over to the birthday. On the way, he quickly stopped by a toy store and bought a plush gorilla. Stewart then threw the toy into the back seat and raced towards his brother's house at full speed.
Wait.
But due to some...
You say brother, right? But why you give him like teddy bear? You know, the toy, that one. Why not give him PlayStation 2 or everything, unless that your brother is little brother, no?
Traffic jams. Stewart still arrived at the very end of the party. His niece's friends and their parents had already begun heading out. Stewart parked his car outside the house, and his brother's wife immediately began to berate him. She called Stewart crazy and asked him if he was even thinking straight, since he bought a gorilla, of all things, as a gift. The latecomer wondered how she could have found out about the gift if the toy was still in the back seat, along with the empty soda bottles littered about. Stewart tried to justify his actions to his brother and his wife, but right then his niece ran up. Judging by her expression, she was delighted with the gift. While Stewart was still asking the child how she was able to make out the toy while it was still in the car, a loud crunch and cracking noise were heard from behind the guy. Stewart turned around and saw a real gorilla breaking its way out of the car. All the children present were absolutely delighted. However, the adults, including Stewart, were noticeably alarmed. When the gorilla got out of the car and grabbed the girl by the hair, the children screamed and ran off in different directions. The parents barely managed to take their child...
Look at that face. Huh? Bitch? What you doing, man? I'm big gorilla.
Back from the angry animal. Then, the gorilla moved over to the party area and began to destroy everything around it. First, it went for the balloons, bursting them one by one. Then, it got to the
one by one,
leftovers in
really?
the barbecue. Afterwards, the gorilla took out the still smoldering embers with a shovel and threw them into the open window of the house. A few moments later, smoke began billowing out of the window and the curtains ignited.
Run.
Stewart, of course, loved to rock out at all sorts of holidays and parties, but this was too much even for him. Against the background of a now burning house, the gorilla grabbed several screaming children and headed off towards the forest with them in hand. I must say, this is very atypical behavior for gorillas. They're usually quite peaceful primates, and unlike chimpanzees, they don't just attack people out of nowhere. This primate acted as if it had been made up by some child's imagination. In actuality, this is pretty much how it is, with some nuances here and there. The entity that transformed into a gorilla is an instance of the anomaly SCP-137. The object is capable of infesting any toy. When this occurs, the toy comes to life and takes on the real-life properties of the one it portrayed. SCP-137 possessed Stewart's plush gift, transforming it into a real gorilla.
So you mean that whatever being cursed can be alive? You know what? Maybe I can get the waifu. Yeah, I just buy a plushie of anime waifu, and if that curse happen to that toys, I mean that fluffy teddy bear, you know what? Your boy get wife. Yeah, the good wife. You know what I mean?
Only its behavior matched the child's imagination.
Holy crap.
Since many children consider the gorilla to be an evil and dangerous beast, the incarnate SCP-137 behaved in the exact same way. It demolished and destroyed everything around it, and also abducted frightened children. The gorilla incident was one of 3 incidents that led to the Foundation's attention subsequently being drawn to the object. Before that, a young girl reported that a naked man had appeared in her room from who knows where.
What?
The search for him that followed led to a pony grazing in a local forest. This was yet another incarnation of SCP-137. Foundation personnel captured the anomaly and brought it back to Site-19. The object is currently being held in the form of a Princess Blossom doll, as this form has proven to be the safest yet. The princess constantly states that she's the most beautiful in the world, and considers all male employees to be her princes. The object does not answer any relevant questions regarding the nature of SCP-137. SCP-137 has been exposed to a variety of other, more dangerous toys during testing.
What do you
when
mean?
the entity took possession of a toy airplane, it
Holy
immediately
crap.
turned into a real F-16 fighter jet.
Hey, I mean, I would like to take that
It immediately
jet,
tried to
you
take
know?
off, thereby destroying almost all of the test hangar and itself along with it. After that, the wreckage of the plane turned into plastic and reformed itself as a princess. Oversight decided it best to limit experimentation with all toys that had rockets and engines. However, in the next experiment, this intent was already violated, because the next replication done was a toy Ferrari, which
Damn,
instantly turned into a real one. The
I mean,
anomaly's
your boy
driving
can
was
get
apparently all kinds
very
of
cheap
bad,
Ferrari.
because the car rather quickly crashed into a wall, scattering about in fragments, and then returning to its original form afterwards. After that, experiments with bad, because the car rather quickly crashed into a wall, scattering about in fragments, and then returning to its original form afterwards.
It's like, oops, sorry. I think he was like, oops, sorry, like that. I know that.
After that,
Must be
experiments
like that.
with transportation vehicles began to be carried out only with the express permission of oversight. But experiments with other types of toys still had more terrible consequences than that of destroyed walls. The figurine of an American soldier took the form of a real G.I. Joe,
Holy crap.
thirsty for blood and adventure. He shot 5 people before he was killed himself. The
What?
toy police officer, Officer Jones, was no more peaceful. At first, he simply asked everyone where the suspects had disappeared to, and urged employees not to use drugs for recreational purposes. But when they tried to interrogate the policeman, he declared the scientists to be criminals and opened fire.
Holy
As
crap.
a result, 2 researchers were shot, and the third was arrested by the policeman. Scientists thought that the stuffed panda would be a safer option to test. However, they did not take into account the fact that the
Aw, so
panda is
cute.
a bear. Fortunately, one researcher managed to get away with only 3 broken ribs.
Holy
Agent
crap.
Sorensen's keychain ended up causing the most casualties.
Why you
although
put
the keyring itself was not
crocodile?
involved in the planned experiment. The alligator figurine simply hung on the agent's keys, but the anomalous entity perceived the accessory as a toy. The revived 20-foot saltwater crocodile killed 14 people until it was
Damn.
eliminated. Since then, all Site-19 personnel are searched for toys or similar items at the entrance, and anything that can be played with is prohibited within a 550-yard radius of the facility's containment area. It's out to this distance that SCP-137's ability extends, although it was previously believed that the object was only able to inhabit an object that's no further than about 820 feet away from it. Recent experiments have proven to be the safest, as unpredictable animals or armed people have been excluded from the list of experimental toys. The anomalous effect was tested on a box with building
Lego?
blocks. SCP-137 appeared inside the box in the form of a terracotta brick.
Damn.
And it came back as the same brick, only made from a different material. The changing of bricks took several hours until the decision was made to destroy them. The test was probably concluded for safety reasons, since you never know what material it might have ended up as, be it uranium or plutonium, for example. Or maybe the scientists just got bored of watching the endless shift between bricks. The yo-yo toy, after being possessed by SCP-137, remained completely unchanged. It was originally plastic, and so it remained. Granted, it did begin moving completely on its own, even when it was removed from the scientist's finger and hung on a hook on the wall. The following experiment was conducted with a toy, Dr. Selenium, which was sold in a box labeled The Smartest Man on Earth. Apparently, scientists hoped that in this form, SCP-137 would answer all questions regarding its nature. But it was all for naught. Selenium constantly talked about his super high intelligence and superiority among all
What's that?
intellectuals on the
One
planet.
plus what? 1 plus 2? I mean 2 plus 1 equal to what?
But the toy doctor never gave an answer to even a single question concerning any field of science. In the last experiment, the winged unicorn figurine turned into a disproportionate purple horse. It called for a junior researcher to fly with it to the castle, despite the lack of both wings on the researcher's part.
Hey, you see me? You see me? That meant the fuck this horse won, huh? I do not have any time with that.
As well as any castle. From these experiments, it was concluded that the anomaly as a whole does not have outstanding intellectual abilities. It lacks any kind of long-term memory, as well as the ability to conduct abstract thinking. In many respects, the entity resembles a product from Dr. Wondertainment, but it's rather difficult to verify the authenticity of this assumption. After all, it's still unknown whether SCP-137 had a primary host, or whether the anomaly was always an incorporeal entity that possessed other toys. If there was a primary body, then it makes sense to find it in order to clarify the situation. Only then, perhaps, would the characteristic logo of Dr. Wondertainment be found on it. But, truth be told, why does every anomalous toy instantly make one think of Dr. Wondertainment? There must be, after all, other manufacturers of anomalous toys, right? I think so. Wondertainment is very fond of PR, though. He communicates with his audience via the instructions for the toys, as well as the inscriptions on them and the boxes. He just loves wordplay and puns and never misses an opportunity to write something of the sort.
Hey, he got a new wife, you know? I don't know what's that, a candy at her hair or what?
Of SCP-137, there's nothing of the kind whatsoever. The incarnations of the anomaly are unable to answer questions normally, even with the ability to speak. And this is not surprising, given the fact that they act in
really? A
accordance with
cat like
children's
that?
ideas.
Holy crap.
So maybe children created SCP-137, or some child by himself. Do you recall my
Holy
investigation
crap,
on
that's a good origami.
SCP-1762? The
Oh,
box
no.
from which the revived paper dragons flew out. It was there I made an assumption about the child whose fantasy created the paper
Hey,
dragons.
at least lucky, you know, that thing just fly. If that thing become a real dragon, I mean, I do love dragon, but man, you're gonna die.
It is possible that this child died, and his consciousness split. A part of the consciousness that animates children's fantasies now wanders from toy to toy, materializing them whenever it gets inside these objects. Now, if you paid careful attention while watching my videos, you probably remember that the child did not really die, but rather grew up into... Overall, best go back and review it again and end my sentence in the comments below. And I, of course, will be glad to read your theories behind the origin of SCP-137.
Okay. Oh, that's all. Okay. I mean, cool, and at the same time, interesting that that SCP can, you know, make the toy become a real thing. Like, for example, a toy car become a Lamborghini, the Lego become a brick, and so on, all the type of brick, and Minecraft one too. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of interesting, you know, something that you can change from the toy into the real one. But, you know, just if that thing destroy, is go back into the freaking normal car, if that true. Anyway, that's all for today, and do not forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification, and do not forget to my channel. Okay, do not forget to like and subscribe to this guy channel, Detective Void. Do not forget to do that because he made a good animation SCP. So yeah, that's all for today. Have a good day, have a good night, goodbye, and stay home.